next guest that we have for you is somebody that I had the chance to talk to as I believe it was a personal introduction from Mr. Nicholas, and this was a few months back. We had the chance to do a little Zoom call, and from what I heard about this young man is that he obviously was somebody who had his life changed because he moved from one country to another. And of course, when you're in that position, something that's always in the back of your mind is how can you sustain, right? How can you afford your new lifestyle? How can you actually pay for school and your apartment and your food and all those things? And he was talking about how last year, around the time of the GrooveAthon, he was just learning, getting inspired by all the fellow speakers that, just like you, right now, watching on the screen, and in a very short amount of time, he was able to not only change his life around, he was able to get results, but he was making 5 figures a month just with Groove. So if you talk about Freedom Day, if you talk about how Groove changes lives, this kid is the epitome of that, and I want to welcome him up. He's been waiting patiently in the back, but I see him in the green room. Let's give a huge round of virtual applause and give a big welcome to our friend, mine and yours, Mr. Million. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, good, thanks.
You are
Really
in
nice.
your new place. The last time that we saw you, the last time that I
Yeah,
saw you, you were still, I guess, in another city. Where were you last time?
I was in Melbourne last time. I'm
Melbourne. And
in
now?
Queensland right now. Yeah,
Okay, so actually you're quite close, like a couple of hours only away from Nicholas as well. And I understand that you
yeah.
guys met up and all that stuff. So how are you enjoying your new life in your new city and your new place?
It's been great. It's been great since we connected. When we started, when we met, I was doing 5 figure months. Now with Groove, I actually end up doing multiple 5 figure months. So it's been an
Wow.
absolute insane journey. When I started last year, about 9 months ago, I was doing everything myself,
Hmm.
and now I have a team of 10 people helping
Wow.
me run my business from zero to, 10 people, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Um,
And what kind of business experience did you have? Like, how did you build the team of 10
okay.
people, or did you learn along the way?
So let me give you a little bit backstory of who I
Sure.
am, where I come from. So the first thing I want to tell people is success, in my experience, only comes from inspiration or desperation. In my situation, I was very desperate. It was the only option I had. For you guys, I'm trying to change the desperation to inspiration. Because trust me, inspiration is a lot more fun than being desperate. So when I started last year, my scholarship was running out of in Australia. I needed to figure out a way to make $104,000 in 2 years as a student,
Wow.
no job. This is the only option I had. So when March hit, I lost my job. I knew going to a workplace isn't gonna make me that kind of money. In order for me to make that kind of money, I have to do something that millionaires have done. It's not something no one has ever done before. Other people have done it. So I went, how can I be next? Right? And this is when I started investing in myself. I started learning things. So I got into Groove. I saw it and I saw the potential. Now, when I started, I was a student. I had no money to invest. I spent the last money I had into getting the lifetime upgrade because I saw the vision and I saw the team and I invested in them. I invested in the program, and as you can tell, it paid off really well. I've made, over 100 times return on my investment that I originally did, and it's only growing ever since. Now, for me, I actually come from a very, very poor background. I come from the slums of Bangladesh. I had nothing. I didn't even have a food or roof over my head when I first started my journey. My parents are poor and uneducated. Everything I have learned, I have uh, taught myself from people like Simon and Mike and David Lemon and all these other people that are around me. So I started becoming a magnet, attracting those people. So going from nothing, last year I didn't even have a business. I was just a student. I'm 22. I didn't have a business. I just had a vision in mind. I said, I need to make $104,000 in 2 years, and I'm gonna figure out how. Now, just so you know, I have already made deals for $104,000, if not more, since the last 9 months.
Mm.
So those deals are already done. So I know as the year progresses, that money is already coming. The only thing I'm looking now to do is actually not see this is where I want to go. Now I have shifted to how far can I go,
Mm.
right? Not I want to go here. Now it has completely changed for me. If I can get here, how much further can I go? And one thing I recognize now is going to be your network is going to be your network. So what I started doing is connecting with great people from the group community, connected with Twan and Norris, who's been a big inspiration. One of the things she said in her live last time is, my superpower is I'm really good at graphic design. You're gonna have to figure out what your superpower is and leverage it. What is your unfair advantage? And that's what's gonna get you to where you want to go. And as a student back then, I realized, wait a minute, I don't have a job, I don't have a family, I don't have all this responsibility. All I have is a lot of time. So guess what? As a student, I'm gonna do exactly what the students do. Invest a lot of my time into learning group, learning Facebook ads, learning marketing, all these other things that I have packaged together. And as a result, my clients have made multiple uh, five figures, 5 and 6 figures since I started my journey. So all of
Mm.
them combined, they're
Wow.
doing multiple 6 figures. So it's been an absolute insane journey as I got into Groove and learned all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about what I've been able to do for myself and others around me.
And that is the biggest difference, pretty much, between a lot of what we do and what we say that we do versus a lot of the other communities, is that we know that we have a community. We know that we have a system. We know that we have a platform. We know that we have education. We have everything that you need to make something possible, right? To help yourself turn those dreams into reality. And not only that, as you can hear from Million, right? He's actually able to help other people as well. He's able to generate actual results for his clients. It's not just him making money, but when you have the mindset that you want to help other people, that you want to change lives, that you want to make a difference, a huge impact, especially during these times, as long as you can figure out the right business model for yourself, you know that it's going to help you. The more people that you know that you can help, well, the more the universe is going to bring back to you. And so with that, it's almost like an entire, I know it's kind of a cliche because we're talking about group, it's an entire funnel, isn't it? You help other people, and the more people that you help to success, the more successful you ultimately are going to be as well. So it's almost like a completely different mind shift of knowing that your life is so much more than just wake up in the morning, make money, blah blah blah. But you can see, like you heard from Million, right? He also built his own team. So not only is he building the success for himself, he makes sure that he has partners, he has people who are employed under him, and together they're also working to help other people as well. And so, with all of that, huge inspiration, amazing stories. And before we let you go, Million, I want to get some final words from you on what you would recommend to anyone who might be joining us right now who is also trying to seek their own freedom days. Maybe, as you mentioned, right, there could be people who are watching us right now who are in those desperate times. I know that many people in Malaysia right now are in desperate times. We have these white flag operations where people are literally putting up white flags in front of their houses because they don't have food, because they're on the of verge of losing everything, right? That's how desperate many people in this country has actually become. So there's a lot of people who are desperate. I don't want to get into too solemn of a topic of whatever else, but actually people are going into drastic resolutions, let's just say, to try and escape their current situations. So, what would you say for anybody who may not necessarily be in those desperate situations, as desperate as the ones that I was just talking about, but they're desperate enough, they're hungry enough to want to make some change for themselves? Maybe they're in a very similar position as where you were 9 months ago, as you were watching the Groovathon, the same way that you were watching those people as they are watching you right now. What would you say is required in their shift of mindset? What action items do they need to take next in order for them to change their lives around, just like how you were able to change yours?
So I'm gonna say two things. The first is your dream completely free, right? The dream is free, but if you want results, that's going to that's an upsell. Okay, so that's actually paid. The grind is an upsell. The dream is completely free. So what I want you guys to know is, for me and all my clients, I've worked with hundreds of people now. Success doesn't come from what you want or having a goal. It comes from what you do consistently to achieve that goal. It's about having a system in place to actually generate that result you want. One of the first thing I did is every 5 days I wrote down what I was thinking, how I have progressed, what I want, actually writing down my goals when I first started. And that helped me gain a lot of clarity because there is so much things going on the internet. So if anything you guys take away from this, it start writing down what you want and then figure out how you want it. Now I have many resources on the internet, whether it might be my YouTube channel or my Facebook group, the GrooveFunnels Job Network, which is a place I set up to exactly help other people that are in desperate situations, or they're looking for motivation or mindset shift. So yeah, so if you really want something, it's start writing down, start engaging. Again, everyone said dream is free, but success is an upsell. So we've got to really work for it. It doesn't come. Everyone has the same goals. I want you to know that everyone around you, the person, the other person watching the stream, they probably have the same goal where they want, a better life or more time with their family. But what's going to make the difference is you being consistent and really have the discipline that's required. And at the end of the day, just remember that money, we make such a big deal out of it, but money is a form of value. When you give a lot of value, you can make a lot of money. The reason I have made a lot of money and my clients have made a lot of money is because we gave an enormous amount of value in return for it. You don't see it on the front end, you just see the money and the bank account. But what it is at the end of the day, we have given an enormous amount of value, and the money we make is a byproduct of that. So just like Chester said before, focus on giving value, and the money, it starts to pick up. So
Yeah.
that's my final lesson to you.
And ultimately, you are absolutely correct, sir. It is definitely about the value. If it weren't for value, none of this would exist. Everything that you're watching right now, all the success stories, all of the inspiration, none of that would exist because everything comes with value. We're not a regular community where we're just after some kind of bottom line to reach our own goals. This is a community that is built off of the creation of helping other people. That's what freedom is all about. That's what Freedom Day is all about, right? It's all because we are a community that help each other. And not only that, we help each other generate results, just like what Million has been able to do for his own clients as well as his partners as well. So, with that, one last thing, Mr. Million, it looks like a lot of people are very interested in learning more from you, maybe connecting with you. What is the best way to do that?
So the best way you can connect me is through my Facebook group, the GrooveFunnels Job Network. I provide a lot of training for Groove, and it's also a great place for you to leverage expertise of other people. So when you can't do stuff, you can't do it, but you still need those expertise. So what you can do is really get in and start learning these things from others who have already done it. So If just go on maybe Facebook and write GrooveFunnels Job Network, and you can join the group and you can just connect with me through that.
There you go. Definitely a lot more to learn from you, just like with many of our fellow experts. I look forward to touching base with you again in another future session. Thank you very much, Mr. Milling. I know that you're very busy creating a lot of successes for your clients as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, everyone.
All right.